All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 57 of the Shooting Game Weekly. My name is SoftDrink117. Today we are doing our episode on OutZone. As usual, we have Soda hosting our stream.
Hi.
Soda, say something. Yeah. We also have Frenetic as a co-host here.
Yeah, the F-Man's back in the house, guys.
Finally, we have him back in here. And for our guest commentators, we have Trap15 and Erppo. Say hi, guys.
Hey. What's up?
Hello.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the game. I'm not particularly familiar with OutZone. I know it has a great reputation. I've actually had several chances to play it, but I've never managed to actually do so. But it's always a game that's kind of been interesting to me. So yeah. What is there to know about this?
It's sort of like, I don't know how much people have played games in this sort of shooting game subgenre, but it's sort of like Pocky and Rocky or Mamoru-kun or stuff like that, where it is a vertical scrolling shooter, but you push the screen up by moving instead of it automatically scrolling for you. And there's a time limit so that you can't just sit in one place forever. And then there's two main weapons. There's one where you're always facing forward, so you can't shoot off to your sides, and there's another where you aim in the direction that your last movement was, so you can shoot behind you and to your sides and whatnot.
Okay. So the weapon that's currently being used in the replay is that the forward firing one looks like. So that's a moderate spread shot.
Yeah, you'll probably see this replay mostly use that. It does a lot of damage. It's
a lot easier to use.
Yeah,
I think
it's a lot easier to use, and it does a lot more damage, and it's sort of the best weapon if you have auto fire. If you don't have auto fire, I think the directional...
I think people usually use the ball, the special weapon, if they don't use auto fire. But
yeah, there's special weapons, and I guess we can talk about that at some point. I don't know.
Well, yeah, whenever
I
it
might
comes
mention
up, I
that
guess.
pickups,
Go ahead.
there are the normal power pickups, bombs, and the C pickup, which switches between the two weapons. And then all the enemies drop power-ups. They can drop this special item that can make all kinds of stuff happen. There are two more weapons, and there's also shield and speed up and stuff like that.
So switching between the two weapons is done by power up. You don't have any like real-time control over that in terms of like pressing a button. You have to go and pick up a... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those red boxes with letter C, they drop the item that switches the weapon.
Yeah, and if you have a special weapon when you pick one of those up, then you lose the special weapon.
I see. So there's kind of a strategy to when you want to pick those up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then the other things, the E's, are those just power-ups, like increasing shot strength?
Is the energy. You see in the top left corner is the blue gauge. It's the energy. It's like the time limit. It keeps dropping and it keeps dropping all the time, and you pick up the E's to fulfill it.
I see. That's
Yeah.
pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to handle the time limit. Because you sort of actually have a little bit of time after it runs out that you can still move, but your guy sort of slows down a bit and eventually just slows down, falls over, and dies.
Oh, so you can actually feel like, oh.
Yeah, you can feel the struggle of, oh no, I'm out of time.
And you're like, I need to get it. No.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, like you'll see in the replay right now, it's got the energy empty flashing at you, like, oh no, you're about to die.
And then it looks like it refills at the end of each stage, so, okay.
Yeah.
I think this replay is currently in some later loop where the energy drops faster. It's not that hard in the first loop.
So, I mean, is there kind of a standard for how fast it will deplete? Like, if it's completely full, how much time do you have in theory? Or has nobody ever figured that out?
Oh, it's
I'm
been
not really sure.
way too long since I've played to actually remember. But it's
It's not very long time.
yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
20 seconds, 30 seconds maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're constantly picking up the extra energy, so it's not.
So it's kind of a way of keeping the gameplay moving forward then.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
clearly there are circumstances here where it looks like you could probably milk enemies or milk, popcorn or generators or something. But because you have that time limit, you have to keep advancing or you'll game over. So that's a pretty great mechanic, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
That SP that he just passed, was that one of the special power-ups you were talking about?
Yeah,
Or-
the different colors of the SP are denote different special power-ups. There's one that makes you move faster, one that gives you a longer energy bar, one that gives you sort of a modified version of the free shot where it's a flamethrower and you sort of turn a bit slower and it sort of delays a bit. And,
Oh, you mean the super burner?
yeah, that one.
You don't really want to use that one because the range is too short.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very short range. It's kind of mediocre.
Well, when you have the other one, which is the super ball, like the great one.
Yeah, the super ball is really crazy. It's sort of like a yo-yo. It's just like spins around your character while you're holding the shot button, and when you let go, it shoots it forward. It's really unique and interesting.
That is
Um,
really cool.
And then there's a shield power-up that gives you a second hit because you die with one hit, and the shield gives you, another hit.
So how do extends work in this game, or are there any?
There are. One of the special items is an extend. It's completely random. And then there are score extends. But the thing is that you will only get extends in the first loop. After you complete it, there are no more extra lives. You will have to do with what you have already.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Is there a cap on how many you can have?
Yeah, it's 9, and I don't think you need any of the random items to get that. You will get it from the score if you just don't die in the first loop. So
Oh,
it's not
okay.
very
So
bad.
it's pretty generous with them in that first loop, but I'm guessing after that,
Yeah.
as the difficulty ramps up, you really start missing the ability to get those.
Yeah.
So, one thing I'd like to interject, like, what are your guys' viewpoints on why this classifies as a shmup, as opposed to a run and gun, or are they both?
Well, I'm not sure if it is a shmup.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on trying to figure out what genre a thing is. I just say, oh, I like that game, so I'll play
I
that
see.
game.
Okay, you heard it from Trap 15, guys. The debate is, hey, if you like that game, oh yeah, then play.
If anyone's wondering why I put this under STG Weekly instead of AGR, it's because we already did a couple other run and gun type games on STG Weekly, so I figured apparently we're considering run and guns, STG like enough that it was worth doing. So
Yeah. Within our crowd, it might be splitting hairs, but to the general public, they're like, "Hmm."
yeah.
So, guys, do you want to talk about maybe the hidden features, aka the Easter eggs in this game?
I don't really remember that much about it.
that was so punny there, frenetic.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be SGD Weekly episode without some F-man puns. So, in this game, I'll post a link for you guys, but to make it short, there's an Easter egg which you can see the flying shark, the Hishuzame plane squadron. There's also another one where you can find the Truxton ship. And then there might be another one from Dash Yarrow, which is a racing game, like the cars. And then there's various 5,000 point bonuses in the game. And then later on, there's the Papiru, or the Toaplan mascot, like the bird in the first level, where if you don't shoot it, you'll get 30,000 points at the end if you take him to the end of the level. So, yeah, so I'll put the link in the YouTube episode and you guys can read about those Easter eggs.
I think some of the versions of this game don't have all of the Easter eggs though, so you might have to try a few versions of it to actually find them.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, and another power-up that we didn't see is there actually is a shot power-up in the game. It's just you don't get them after you're fully powered up. And they're just little P icons the same size as the energy power-ups.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
So
Like on the screen right now.
So that's why his shot is kind of small right now. And okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So
Shall we
do you
get
just
in it?
how many of the P's does it take to reach full strength?
I think it was 3.
Oh, okay.
It was
Okay.
either 2 or 3. I
3 or
can't
4.
remember. Oh,
So you
maybe
build
it was
up
4.
pretty quickly then.
Yeah, it's not very hard to get up to full power.
Pretty annoying because it's random how many of those you get because the enemies might also drop the special items.
Yeah, there's a lot of randomness with the power-ups that can be really annoying. Like all of the special power-ups are entirely random, and yeah.
The energy power-ups and the weapon change, they are fixed. They always appear in the ground, but the enemies
Yes.
drop all the other power-ups and they are
Yes.
random.
Yeah.
So, and how do the bombs work? Are they they look to be screen clearing? Are they instant or is there an activation delay?
They're
They're
instant.
pretty instant, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you
Okay.
can use them as saves pretty well.
Yeah,
Unlike
and you get tons
Yo,
of them.
Tiger.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bombs are also the main thing you can do to increase your score because if you don't use them, you get 5,000 points for each extra bomb, and in the end of stage you get points from them too.
Hmm.
So they're probably the biggest thing you can do to make you get more score in here.
Well, awesome. Well, is there anything else that you guys think we ought to mention, or can we kind of get started on this replay?
I think we
I
can
guess we
get
could start.
started. It's kind of not too complex of a game. Just
Yeah.
some basic stuff.
Well, cool. All right. Let's go ahead and queue up that replay then.
Okay. And guys in the chat, if you have any questions, just go ahead and feel free to ask, and we'll try our best to answer them.
So we're planning on starting with the first loop of this game, and then since it loops like 5 or 6 times before, does it loop infinitely, or do most people stop at that
Yeah,
point
it's
because
infinite,
that's when you
but
hit the counter stop?
It kind of stops pretty quickly, so you can play on if you want to, but
There's not
I'm
really
not sure
much.
if anyone does that.
Yeah. So yeah, for those watching, we're gonna be showing the first loop first, and then we're gonna be skipping ahead to the 5th loop, just to show the kind of the difference there. So, all right, is everyone queued up?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, click.
Mission. Are you
Destroy
ready?
all of them.
Good luck. And look at that shit.
The guys don't really shoot much at you in the first loop, as you can see.
He was
Yeah.
kind of just charging ahead. Okay.
Yeah, and you see him when he has the directional shot going left and right. Without auto fire, you actually shoot a lot faster if you just like wiggle in 2 directions. So
Oh.
that's why you want to have this weapon if you don't have a special when you don't have auto fire, because you can shoot really fast like that.
Hmm.
Oh, and here's that
So-
Easter egg.
Here's the PP. Oh, PP. So he just shot the PP. He didn't care about the PP.
Yeah, I think this guy plays pretty slowly in the first loop because he wants to get as many points as he can. So, like, he waits here to get lots of those carriers.
Who is this soft drink you mentioned earlier before?
The player enters his name as Kondo, Kondou, and a period at the end.
He's a Japanese guy who posted this on YouTube.
Yeah. We were originally gonna feature a replay from Erppo here, but that
I'm
did not end up
awful.
working out. No, you're not awful. I mean, I'm sure you had other things going on.
No, not really. I just sort of dropped the ball.
The
It's
confession.
a better
from Trap.
replay anyway.
So do,
All right.
do you guys normally get like the spread shot because it kind of keeps you in that kind of shmup mode because he always faces forward?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
it's
definitely
convenient to
helps.
use.
Mm.
It definitely helps to not have to worry about what direction you're facing. You just
Yeah,
point
right?
and
Often you
shoot.
need to retreat, and if you retreat with this weapon, you're gonna shoot forward, so it's not a very good thing.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, there's a special that looks like the Super Ball, right?
I think so. The Super Ball and the
I think that's shield. Super Bowl is
Mm.
bit
Yeah,
more
okay.
right.
those two look very similar, so it's easy to confuse them.
I didn't even get it.
Yeah, so that was probably the Super Ball.
Yeah. I think if you play without autofire, you want to use the Super Bowl all the time, because it doesn't really matter if you have autofire or not with that weapon.
Yeah.
So is this player using auto?
Yes, definitely. You can tell
Okay.
because this weapon only shoots like once or twice per tap. So,
Oh, okay. And he's able to basically fill the screen with it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. The main difference between this and the normal shooting game is that you control when the enemies spawn, so most of the strategy is about making sure you don't spawn too many of them. Like you can advance very carefully and spawn one enemy and take care of it and then advance more.
I see. So you have to be a little bit kind of like cautious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you sort of got to know where an enemy is going to come out so you can prevent them
Ooh.
from coming out in time.
Did you see he got like all those 5,000 bonuses? That was kind of neat.
Yeah, I think those are random too. At least I have no idea how to trigger them.
I wonder if it's related to the Tiger Heli dash arrow car that comes
Oh,
out.
yeah,
random.
yeah.
Like it seems random, but maybe it's not.
No, he just milks the guys that come from the edges.
So I noticed you got an energy extend a few seconds ago. Does that carry over between loops?
I think that one does. The
Okay.
speed up does not, and that's pretty annoying.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Because you always want the speed up, and you might have to wait until like level 4 to get it if you're unlucky.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about the speed up because whenever I have to do the maze stages, it ends up kind of screwing me over because then I fall into a pit because I'm really clumsy.
I think you always want the speed up. It's just so much better.
Yeah, it does let you move a lot faster forward so that you can get everywhere in time.
Is that supposed to be like lava in the background there?
Yeah.
Oh,
think.
okay.
I'm
That
not
looks
sure
like
if
lava to
control
me.
in there.
It looks like lava chili. It looks like chili.
You usually
I don't
will
know what
fall
it
into
looks
pits
like.
in this game. You usually will fall into pits in this game if you walk into them, but I'm not sure if you can fall there.
I think you can. I actually haven't tried and somehow haven't managed to accidentally do it, so I don't know. And there's actually a trick for that column right there that makes it a lot easier. If you just stay off to the very edge, you can just charge forward and never get hit by the side lasers.
Ooh. How long does that shield last indefinitely, and how many shots does it take?
It lasts until you get hit once.
Okay.
So here he switched to the aimable shot so that he can kind of shoot around corners and take those guys out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's useful in there.
all the environmental stuff is kind of odd, and stuff doesn't go around walls like it should, and it's kind of peculiar. I mean, you get the hang of it, but it's really weird if you haven't played it before.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
Oh,
Super
this is-
Ball.
Oh, he finally got the Super Ball. Oh, so he just ran into it just so he could kind of get it out of the way.
Yeah, that's my guess. Either that or he might have thought it was a shield power-up because they look so similar.
Oh.
So does that always swing around at the same rate, or is the rate somewhat dependent on how fast you're hitting? Because it was going around
Well,
really quick.
You hold it and it spins around you. So yeah, it's a fixed speed. Like you hold the button and it spins around, and you let go and it shoots it forward. So if you're not holding the button at all, you're just not doing anything. But yeah,
Oh, that's tight. The boss carves off parts of the stage.
yeah, it's a really awesome boss fight. It's really it's kind of mind blowing when you first get to it. You're like, oh
Yeah.
dang.
That's
And then he
actually.
gets tired of the laser. Won't
So
use
why
it
is
anymore.
is he milking these popcorn or something?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because it's the end of the stage, so he can just milk things until his energy's about to run out. Because there's
You
no.
can see here that he gets quite a lot of points for having full 10 bumps here in the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think he will bump much in the first loop because he wants all the points. And yeah, here you can see the whole strategy of playing this game is being very careful.
Yeah, just
Okay.
kind of
Well,
barely
like-
nudging the screen up
Yeah.
and aiming where you know stuff is going to be.
It's not very difficult game if you have the idea how to play it, but if you just rush forward you will die very quickly.
So is it I'm assuming the hitbox is like full size of your character pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I'm not completely sure how big it is, but
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where or how big it is. I mean, it feels right, so
Okay.
you wouldn't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have gotten hit there. But
Okay, so it's not one of those awkward ones where it's like substantially larger than.
no, I think
It's
it's,
not that
probably
huge.
about the size of the sprite. Probably
Okay.
a little bit smaller.
it's somewhat narrow because I remember that these guys that shoot 2 rockets, you can go between the 2 rockets. So it's not as wide as this guy.
It might just be his head. I mean, it would be a pretty good hitbox indicator.
Oh, there was another dash to row.
I think that these guys fire 2 rockets, I remember going between those. Let's see if they fire at all here.
I like the music. Really good.
Yeah, the music in this game is absolutely fantastic. It's definitely worth listening to the soundtrack just alone.
I think it's actually the best part of the game. Those 2 misses.
So, are anyone notable that designed the game? Do you guys know the background of the designers? Like, did Miki do the soundtrack as well, or?
I can't remember who did the soundtrack. I want to say it's Yuge.
Okay, Masahiro Yuge.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think that's who did it. I'd have to actually. I think I have it. Let me take a look.
So interesting
but-
point brought up in chat here. Why do people milk so often if the game counter stops relatively quickly? Is it just easier to get more points in the first loop with the milking than it is to
I
try
guess
and
they just
survive
don't-
extra loops?
I guess they just want to counter stop it quickly.
Okay.
But in the first loop you kind of want to score because you want the maximum of 9 lives for the rest of the loops. You will not get them if you score badly.
Okay.
Okay, so OutZone
Is that a
composed,
speed filter?
composed by Uemura.
Oh, Uemura. Okay. Tatsuya Uemura.
Yep.
So.
And then I want to say he also designed the game, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, he talks about this is from Shmuplation. So since we found it was in Mora, he said they made OutZone a bit easier, and then kind of people came back to Toaplan through that game. So they kind of wanted to make it easier than in a normal vertical scrolling game, like how you can be cautious, right? Defeat the enemies, and then move on to the next point, right? So,
Are those worms guaranteed bomb drops?
Not quite. They can also drop some special item, but usually you can always bump them and you will get the bump back.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm noticing that he's just getting tons of bombs and points from those because he already has max bomb stock.
To answer the question in chat, the guy on the title screen was drawn by Joker June.
Oh, cool.
oh wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and Fixate was after this and is mostly inferior, so just play this instead.
Did June have any other involvement with the graphics in this game? Do you know? Or
I do not know. I only know that he did the guy on the title screen.
all right.
That's cool.
The guy like turns sideways, starts like no.
First loop enemies are like that, they don't really bother shooting at you.
It's just kind of adorable. They just like turn and look at you and then just don't do anything. Super burner.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
like
that this
that guy.
sucks.
Sort of looks at you. It's like, hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, you can get tons of bump items too. Because almost all of these guys drop them.
Wow, there's so many bombs. Just what is this?
Yeah, most of the red guys will drop bombs or power-ups, so when you
This is also
have...
fun if you have died, you can power up fully here pretty easily. Because those can also be
Goes
power
all
ups
the way
if you're
down.
not at full power.
It's the bomb. He's just like taking his time, like, oh, I'm just gonna get these bombs over here. Oh wow.
Yeah, I've actually never made it this far, so this is quite a sight.
Was he shooting at the what? Oh, he was
Just
just waiting for the
shooting
platform. Okay.
It's got
Yeah.
nothing to do.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So when you run out of energy, is it game over? Or do you just lose a man?
You just lose one life.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty forgiving then, especially given how many extends the game seems to be able to throw at you.
Yeah, definitely.
The
It's
first loop, yeah.
it's a very lenient game, at least in the first loop.
It's usually not very hard to recover either, except in some points. It's not like some other Toaplan games where you will die 50 times if you die once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like being at low power is not really the worst thing that could ever happen.
The most annoying thing is that you lose the energy extend and the speed up and you will have to get them again.
Yeah.
I always will use the reverse at here. I'm not sure I hate picked this weapon.
So how many stages to each loop?
I think it's 7.
Okay.
Now it should be stage 6, I think. Yeah, you can see that he always when new guys spawn, he will stop scrolling and take his time and kill those guys.
Yeah.
That's like the strategy for the whole game. And if you follow
Yeah.
that, you will get pretty far. There's not really many surprising things that you really need to memorize in this game. You can just pretty much follow the general strategy and you will do pretty fine.
So it looks like there was some kind of like turret or something that was extending it out of the ground a minute ago, but we couldn't really see it because it was barely on the screen.
Yeah, he killed those pretty fast. And these things, for some reason, the rightmost shot of the three-way goes through these. I think it's probably a bug, but it's pretty weird.
Oh.
If you go next to
Yeah,
those,
that
one of
is-
those shots goes through.
That is weird.
But not always.
Hmm.
Only if you're right up next to it, it looks like.
Yeah. But it's always the same shot, the rightmost one. I don't think it should happen, it makes that part pretty easy. And these guys are pretty annoying, these big gratings, because they shoot those grenades, and those grenades can be hard to see. There, they will
Oh,
explode
yeah.
when they get next to you.
That's
Those can
annoying.
kill you. I think they killed me quite a lot of times.
And they have kind of a funky radial pattern too. It's a hexagon instead of. I mean, normally when you think of a radial,
Yeah, if
you
you
think
stay at place, the all bullets will go past you, but if you move, you will get hit.
yeah.
So it's not bad if you notice the grenade, but you might not. This part is also pretty hard.
Yeah.
And
Do those
I don't
guys
think
come
there's-
infinitely or? Oh no, they.
yeah, I was just about to say that I don't think there are ever infinite number of guys in this game. You can always sit them out
Yeah.
if you want to, but you might run out of time if you do that always.
I like how this door's like hitting and then the other side's like bouncing back a little bit. Just it gives that sense of kind of weight. Like I like that there's that. Because a lot of the other motion in this game is, I don't want to say it's like really static because there is some really interesting stuff going on, but like I don't know, that in particular is like that's nice.
So
little
in the
detail.
right is annoying because I don't think it's possible to get through that one. You will always die if you try because it's so fast.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that blue thing. Dang. It's gonna
So is this
get
a-
you.
Is this attack always aimed in that same way, like a hook from that side and then a spread?
The hook will be the one closest to you, so you can manipulate
Oh.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
You made it. Dang, that's a lot of points for the bomb. 5,000, right?
Yeah, I think it's 5,000 points per every extra bomb you have at the end. So most of your extra score will come from those. You can bomb a lot in this game if you want to, because as you can see it drops a lot of those items.
This looks like a pretty tricky section. He just bombs it. Is that kind of the easiest
Yeah,
way to
you-
deal with it?
Yeah, probably. Because you can't really shoot those turrets in the right with the three-way shot.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to fire really fast, and the shots are pretty fast.
Yeah.
Why did he bomb there?
Because there are those guys coming from below.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Often when you get guys from below, you can outrun them if you just keep going forwards, and they will never catch you. they will go out of the screen. It's another thing about the free scrolling. This part is pretty funny because those guys jump out from those things, but you can just run past them and they will just stay there like this.
That's awesome.
It's a lot easier than trying to fight them.
It's like they're lying in wait, like trying to surprise you, and then you're just like, lol, no.
See you guys.
Those dark red guys are actually traps. If you step into one of them, it becomes a pit and you will die. You will not see it here because he obviously isn't stepping on them.
Wow,
so
that's
the
pretty.
Yeah, I don't think it's
That's
instant,
pretty
but-
mean.
Yeah, it is. I think it
I mean, they,
breaks pretty slowly that you can run away if you step there accidentally, but it will
Okay.
kill you if you stay there longer.
I see. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, those look a lot like the rest of the floor tiles. If that happens right away, like, that's really mean. But okay, if there's like a delay and you can react to it if you're paying attention,
not
then that's
very
a little
long, but-
fair.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So it looks like Naoki Okawara had a big hand in OutZone as well. Did a lot of graphics. So
Yeah, you can shoot those turrets from below before they can fire at you if you fire at them early enough. Because the thing where they fire from isn't in the screen yet.
That's pretty great.
And here comes the final boss. This guy had a pretty good way of dealing with it. I used to use the 3 ways at here because I thought it would be annoying to use this, but apparently it's really good.
All right.
Just bomb 3 times and then it's dead?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was loop 1, and I think we should jump to the loop 5 now.
Congratulations! You've completed this game. That
whoa,
is
he's
adorable.
got a weird cyborg.
This guy gets a pretty good score because I think a normal score from one loop is like 1.5 million and he gets over 2. So he scores pretty well. But
Yeah.
are we jumping to loop 5 now?
Yeah, so let's jump ahead to the second or the 5th loop, excuse me. Sorry. So that's gonna be 144.12, I think.
What was it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, 144.12.
Yeah, 144.12.
144.12.
Oops.
Ready?
I'm ready.
No, mine just unsynced, which was pretty great. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, the first thing you see here that he's back to the slow speed because he lost his speed up when it looped. And all the power too.
And that happens every time
Yeah.
it loops.
Yeah, I think the first stage is actually the hardest stage of all the other loops because these guys now actually fire at you and you're back at
Yeah.
0 power. If you get past this stage, you can usually clear the whole loop or something because it only gets easier from there. It's pretty weird.
That is very weird.
This stage actually becomes pretty hard when these guys fire at you.
They seem to be
There's
firing
a lot
quite
of them.
quickly. I mean, the bullets are
Yeah.
moving pretty fast. Is that just because it's the 5th loop, or is there a substantial increase in bullet speed kind of right
There's
away?
some
once-
increase, but I think they fire a lot faster than in loop 2.
Okay.
I don't know if the rank caps anywhere, but I think at least loop 5 is a bit harder than loop 4. I'm not really sure about it.
So in that sense, the game is almost more about endurance than anything else, because once you kind of know how to play it, you feel like there's not that much difference between the loops.
Yeah, I think that's pretty typical for Toaplan. You can see he has died sometimes because he only has 2 lives left. Or
Yeah.
2 extra lives. Usually in these games you will keep getting extends into other loops, so technically you can play them as long as you like. This boss is pretty hard also in the loops.
Yeah,
Everyone I've seen just bumps it a lot.
those bullets were really quick.
Yeah.
I think like painful.
Yes, I said the speed up thing is annoying because you might get it in stage 1 or you will get it in stage 4 because stage 4 has so many power-ups, but you might not get it until that point. Oh, here are the planes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think the energy also starts dropping faster in loop 2.
Yeah. So the planes look like they can shoot through obstacles, is that correct?
I don't think they can, but you can make the planes go through the obstacles.
Oh, okay, that would do it too. So are they just there until they get shot down?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they go into the next stage, but it's pretty hard to get them that far. They only show up in this one stage anyway.
Yeah.
He's having pretty bad luck with the power-ups because he still isn't at full power.
Yeah. So, is the amount of energy that in like an E pickup restores fixed each loop, or does it?
I don't
Does it
know
decrease?
actually. I think the only change is that the energy drops faster. And
Okay.
the change happens when you go to loop 2, but I'm not sure about this, and it's a year since I last played this. So I don't really remember very well. Here you can move up and have those guys stop spawning, but they picks the safe way and just waits until they stop coming. Like this.
Is there a gradual change from loop to loop, or does the difficulty kind of stay the same after a certain loop?
I think loop 1 to 2 is the biggest jump, but after that it keeps increasing gradually. I do not know if it caps or where it caps. I think it must cap somewhere. But like in loop 1 most of these normal dudes never fire anything, but from loop 2 on they will fire.
So there won't be any more, hey man, what's up?
Yeah, not really.
So I noticed that he waits a little bit before picking up some of these energy items. Is that just because he wants to make the most efficient use of them, since they restore like a fixed amount of his energy bar? He doesn't want to just pick them up and waste if he has other stuff to kill on the screen?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. That energy bar really does add kind of an element of strategy to the game. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a good idea. In most parts of the game it's not really a problem, but there are some parts where you have to keep an eye of it. I think in the stage 1 is actually again the hardest stage because it has a long section that doesn't give any energy. It doesn't really matter in loop 1 because you can just run through it, but in the other loops you need to be more careful there. I think most of those normal guys can only fire in 8 directions, so there are usually pretty big gaps in where they can fire and where they can't.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for Toaplan, so that sounds right.
Yeah, but I think 8 directions is pretty small number, usually they do more. Might be same in the earlier games.
Are the parts that the boss cuts off, are those fixed? Because it looks like it's the same as it was in the first loop.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Oh, that's kind of sad. I was hoping it'd be like aim based on your position, and you could like totally fuck yourself over if you like moved wrong.
Well, you can totally screw yourself over if you move wrong. Like, if
Well,
you,
yeah, but I mean, like if you were like too high up, and it started cutting over, it would like cut off like half the screen, and then you have to like dodge in this little tiny section. Listen, I like
That
I think
would've
that'd be
been
kind
cool.
of fun.
Yeah.
Really mean, but kind of fun at the same time.
Here you see those firing directions. They cannot hit there at all.
Ooh.
Well, we see a recovery.
checkpoint. Oh dear.
the checkpoints are pretty good in this, so it's not too
Yeah, I don't
bad.
think it's usually very hard to recover in this. There are some places, but this stage is a pretty good stage to die in. You shouldn't have much trouble getting back.
Yeah, that guy in the bottom left on that side is really hard to deal with because the forward shot can't actually hit him. So you pretty much have to
Yeah.
bomb that.
If you have a speed up, you can just run past it and it won't hit you, but I don't think it's possible if you don't have it.
Did the background change color between the loops? I thought I remember this being like a grayish blue, and now it's like a purple.
I've never
Or is that a
noticed.
different? Is that a different level?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really paid attention to that.
There are lots of same looking sections in this game, so it might just
Yeah,
be
that's
something
true.
else.
It might just be a palette shift section of some other level that I'm thinking of. So.
That's some slowdown.
Yeah. Well, here actually, if you stay right in the middle, those two guys will not be able to hit you. I usually do it like that.
Wow!
Oh. Oh.
Wow! Oh!
Oh. Dang.
Yeah,
I wanted
he
to
didn't
see-
have any bombs. I think he had planned to use one there, but he didn't have
Yeah.
any.
That was his strategy, was just to bomb twice there.
I wanted
Yeah.
to see him fall over. Oh well.
But now he's at his last life and he won't be getting any more.
Okay, guys, I have to restart the stream. We are dropping some frames. So post the video.
Alright,
Okay. It's at 157 now.
mine is a
STG
157.
Weekly will be back any second. Stay tuned.
Yep.